Welcome and thank you for joining us for Prickly Pear Fest 2015. We're kicking it off with Lodge on the Desert, which is a well-known urban oasis here in town for many visitors. We also are going to be featuring some of the ideas on their menu with prickly pear and other cactus from our local desert that they have there on the grounds with them. Enjoy our interview. My name is Eunice Gonzalez, and I will be interviewing Jerry and Morgan today. And we're basically gonna start breaking into different restaurants this season with the Prickly Pear Fest. We really want to highlight to a lot of our viewers that are probably barely hearing about the Prickly Pear Fest for the first time. We really want you guys to be able to experience everything this month and be able to enjoy all of Tucson's different fairs. So first and foremost, Jerry, you mentioned before when we were talking, you've been here at Lodge for a while now?
Yeah, a few months now. In various other restaurants in Tucson for a while.
Like, where have you been at before, if you don't mind me asking?
Lots of places. I started my career at Llanos in the Foothills.
Oh, wow.
And I have worked around, opened a couple different places like Riley's Craft Pizza, and then worked for Guinea's French Cafe for a while, and Lowe's Ventana Canyon Resort.
Sweet, all right. So then you know the Tucson scene. You're also a native Tucsonan, right?
Right.
Awesome. So then have you noticed a change in the cuisine here in the Southwest, or?
I think a lot of it has gotten more refined and influenced from other places. When I was growing up as a kid, it was a lot of, more stable meat and potatoes kind of cuisine and the classic kind of, Western motif kind of thing. And now we've kind of acclimated into a more, using local ingredients in different manners and tapping into resources that we, previously may have ignored and stuff like that, being secluded.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people are now realizing that not only do you eat the cactus and nopal, which is what in Mexican cuisine a lot of people
Right.
really are familiar. Like, oh, okay, you get the benga and you cut it up, maybe with some chilies or some
Right.
ground beef. But now it's becoming more of a refined cuisine, and that's something that we find really interesting here, and why we really wanted to start with Lodge on the Desert and with Chef Eric Cariano, because here on your menu, you guys have the prickly pear margarita, which is a local favorite. Everybody likes, their tequila and whatnot.
Yeah.
But also, too, you guys have lime and prickly pear Napoleon.
Yeah, it's one of our desserts. We take those, pseudo margarita flavors, the classic lime and prickly pear and things like that. But we make them into a Napoleon dessert. The layers of phyllo dough with pastry cream kind of stuff, and then we take the prickly pear and turn it into almost like an icing on one, for that contrast, and then the lime is a sauce type thing with a little bit different texture. So you get a little differential texture, sweetness with the tartness, and so it's not that super sweet dessert, but it's got enough that it balances everything out. So it's well-rounded.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, and when we first saw that, we were like, that's really classic French cuisine,
Sure,
know?
yeah.
And so it's kind of one of those things, like, we notice around town people are kind of fusing and trying to make things, more revamped, more Southwest. So.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's across the country, but definitely around here, people are trying to take, techniques and ideas from one culture or whatever, and then mixing it with, produce or supplies of another. So you have, classic French techniques of making, a sauce, going with a chili relleno. So
it's a binding kind of thing.
Yeah, it happens a lot lately.
That's pretty cool. And also, too, you guys have a Tucson Caprese, and that has a prickly pear reduction. Now, do you guys use that here, for other items as well, or is it more of a specialty for just this salad?
The reduction is mostly for the salad. We do have plants around the area. We do harvest and try to make our own juice product, and then we take that and we can use it in the various aspects. You know, you can add the sugar and whatnot, and make it into the dessert kind of stuff, or leave it as is. And we actually mix it with a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and which is, you know, classic pairing with a caprese, and then we reduce that down until it's like syrupy. It's got that acidic tone, but like the prickly pear juice by itself has a lot of tartness to it, which balances out along with that as well with the vinegar. So we've done you know, and the prickly pear standard syrup for making the margaritas is just like prickly pear juice with sugar for like a simple syrup kind of thing. Yeah.
So it is kind of a versatile fruit.
It is a very versatile fruit. I mean, prickly pear is or cactus tuna, as it's sometimes called in other places.
Yeah.
Is very versatile. I mean, you can, like I was introduced to it, I mean, funny story, I was introduced to prickly pear as a kid because my grandmother and my mother every year harvested prickly pear and made prickly pear jelly.
Nice.
And that was like the staple in our house, and until I was probably like 12 or 13 going to school, I didn't know that there was any other type of jelly except prickly pear. Because like they made it every year and that's all we had.
Yeah.
So my mom never went and bought, you know, standard Welch's
Yeah.
these other ones, because we just had tons of prickly pear jelly all the time until I was in like school and traded a sandwich, and I was like, what is this? This is
That's awesome.
So yeah, prickly pear has been a staple in my house for a long time. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that is becoming more known and more useful in various aspects, instead of just, you know, making a drink out of it or making it into something sweet. It's got an acidity to it and things like that. You can make it with other things too.
And so then, on a personal note, have you ventured into more of the savory? Because there's another few local places in town that have really used those flavors and caramelized like the tuna to make it like a barbecue sauce or something like that.
I know I've seen places that have done it in a barbecue sauce yet. You know, it's definitely ideas to work around with. So I mean, it's very versatile. It's just definitely an option for lots of things. It's just finding, you know, using it and finding a balance, and being able to utilize stuff. I mean, the fruit itself is kind of tricky to use because of the little seed balls in there.
Yeah.
They're kind of difficult to maintain. So, you know, unfortunately, juicing it is the most, you know, apt way to use it.
Common. Yeah, makes
common.
sense.
So
Cool. Very nice. And now, since you did open up that door, that when you were younger, you guys did have a lot of access to prickly pear.
yeah.
Any terrible brushes with thorns?
No,
You're lucky.
I was lucky. Yeah, I
Nice.
had it was more. I always had tongs and picked with that kind of stuff and was careful with it. My brushes were more with choya, with jumping cactus. That stuff would jump out and that'd get you.
Yeah, they call it that for a reason,
exactly.
right?
That was the things I had. I always carried like this little plastic comb in my pocket. It was the easiest way to.
Oh, so you use that technique. So yeah, a lot of people of the school of thought if you like rub the back of your hair or like a balloon or something, but you like the comb
Yeah, I always
technique
used
a
the
little
comb.
bit more.
Otherwise, it was the easiest to just kind of pop them off.
Nice. All right. Well, that's awesome, and that's definitely one of the Tucson experiences. Very cool. Very awesome. Well, we hope to be able to see more of the grounds and where you guys pick your prickly pear. I know that it was mentioned to us by Michael management that you guys actually have a garden here on site.
Yeah, we have a few different things. We definitely have some prickly pear on our house. We had a pretty abundant mint patch.
Oh, so it's not just the cactus.
Yeah, and believe it or not, we
okay.
actually have mint grows actually very abundantly in this climate, which is kind of crazy to think about. So yeah, we started with a little bit to tide us over, and it just kind of like invaded this whole area. So we like mint for days.
Nice.
But yeah, we have a few different things. I know we have some of the why can't I think? grapefruit. We have some grapefruit trees on
okay.
property, and we use that for different things when they come into season too. So
That's pretty
we
cool.
try to clean and use what's abundant in the area as much as
Yeah.
possible too.
What's coming from the desert itself too
Absolutely.
is always going to be a lot
Yeah,
fresher.
depending on the season. We
Yeah.
pickle cholla buds when they come into season too.
Oh,
which are
wow.
tasty.
That's awesome.
Use that in a salad. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you very much, Jerry.
My pleasure.
And it was a pleasure talking to you. And now we know that if you used a lot of prickly pear and you grew up eating prickly pear and peanut butter sandwiches, you're not the only one. Jerry knows that very well too. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for
My
meeting
pleasure.
with us today. Thanks.